to you by Penguin.
Fatherland by Robert Harris. Read by Michael Jayston. The 100 million self-confident German masters were to be brutally installed in Europe and secured in power by a monopoly of technical civilization and the slave labor of a dwindling native population of neglected, diseased, illiterate cretins, in order that they might have leisure to buzz along infinite Autobahnen, admire the Strength Through Joy hostel, the party headquarters, the military museum and the planetarium, which their Führer would have built in Linz, his new Hitleropolis, trot round local picture galleries, and listen over their cream buns to endless recordings of the Merry Widow. This was to be the German millennium, from which even the imagination was to have no means of escape. Hugh Trevor Roper, The Mind of Adolf Hitler. People sometimes say to me, "Be careful, you will have 20 years of guerrilla warfare on your hands. I am delighted at the prospect. Germany will remain in a state of perpetual alertness." Adolf Hitler, 29th of August, 1942. Part 1. Tuesday, the 14th of April, 1964. I swear to thee, Adolf Hitler, as Führer and Chancellor of the German Reich, loyalty and bravery. I vow to thee and to the superiors whom thou shalt appoint, obedience unto death. So help me God. SS Oath. Chapter 1. Thick cloud had pressed down on Berlin all night, and now it was lingering into what passed for the morning. On the city's western outskirts, plumes of rain drifted across the surface of Lake Havel, like smoke. Sky and water merged into a sheet of grey, broken only by the dark line of the opposite bank. Nothing stirred there. No lights showed. Xavier March, homicide investigator with the Berlin Kriminalpolizei, the Kripo, climbed out of his Volkswagen and tilted his face to the rain. He was a connoisseur of this particular rain. He knew the taste of it, the smell of it. It was Baltic rain from the north, cold and sea-scented, tangy with salt. For an instant he was back 20 years, in the conning tower of a U-boat, slipping out of Wilhelmshaven, lights doused, into the darkness. He looked at his watch. It was just after 7 in the morning. Drawn up on the roadside before him were 3 other cars. The occupants of 2 were asleep in the driver's seats. The third was a patrol car of the Ordnungspolizei, the Orpo, as every German called them. It was empty. Through its open window, sharp in the damp air, came the crackle of static, punctuated by jabbering bursts of speech. The revolving light on its roof lit up the forest beside the road. Blue-black, blue-black, blue-black. March looked round for the Orpo patrolmen, and saw them sheltering by the lake under a dripping birch tree. Something gleamed pale in the mud at their feet. On a nearby log sat a young man in a black tracksuit, SS insignia on his breast pocket. He was hunched forward, elbows resting on his knees, hands pressed against the sides of his head, the image of misery. March took a last draw on his cigarette and flicked it away. It fizzed and died on the wet road. As he approached, one of the policemen raised his arm. "Heil Hitler!" March ignored him and slithered down the muddy bank to inspect the corpse. It was an old man's body, cold, fat, hairless and shockingly white. From a distance it could have been an alabaster statue dumped in the mud. Smeared with dirt, the corpse sprawled on its back, half out of the water, arms flung wide, head tilted back. One eye was screwed shut. The other squinted balefully at the filthy sky. "Your name, Unterwachtmeister?" March had a soft voice. Without taking his eyes off the body, he addressed the Orpo man who had saluted. "Radke, Herr Sturmbannführer." Sturmbannführer was an SS title, equivalent in Wehrmacht rank to major, and Radke, dog-tired and skin-soaked though he was, seemed eager to show respect. March knew his type without even looking round. 3 applications to transfer to the Kripo, all turned down. A dutiful wife who had produced a football team of children for the Führer, an income of 200 Reichsmarks a month. A life lived in hope.
Sample complete.
Ready to continue?